Hi, thank you. As Greg said, I was sitting right here last year and I celebrated my 15th year with the American Cancer Society. And at that time, I didn't know what my year had in store for me. The next year, it was right around my birthday, and we all love birthdays, and now we love birthdays even more, but I didn't know, and you can see I'm celebrating my birthday right there with my son and my family and my friends that day, and I didn't know at that time, but as you see, you don't see it, but I'm a top master runner, and I've done 4 Ironmans and 25 marathons, and I felt, thank you. As Greg said, I went through the determination event, and I had done a couple determination events before, and getting ready, had signed up for Chicago right around my 46th birthday, in my 40s, in the top shape of my life. I was 7th in Boston Marathon with a 3:05, and I had won my age group. Thank you. I had won my age group at DC at the Marine Corps Marathon just previous to this. So I was running and felt the lump in my stomach, and my husband and I watched it and felt it grow. We were feeling it grow, and I was getting sick when I was running, and not a lot of body fat, so we just kind of watched it grow and decided, and he pushed me, go to the doctor, and I'm a very healthy person, never sick, and went to the doctor, and she's like, okay, we need to get some tests. So we got a CAT scan, and it was right before my relay, and I was a team captain for our local Quabog relay in Western Massachusetts with our Cub Scouts. And I walked the lap with my camera, taking pictures of the survivors before. And after the relay, went back to the doctor, and she came in and she said, "We think you have lymphoma." And I sat there and I looked at my husband, and little did I know he did not know what lymphoma was, but I did, obviously, as all of you know what lymphoma is. And I said, "You're saying I have cancer?" And she said, "Yeah, that's what we think, and we need to have some more tests." So I saw the tears welling up in my husband's eyes, and I said, "Okay, let's go. Let's get it done. Let's get it gone." And it was my first thought was to stay strong and stay positive and get her out of the room and making some phone calls to, let's get these tests done and let's figure out what's going on with me so we can get it going. So, and all of that from my experience with the American Cancer Society, knowing these things can go many different ways. You don't know how, don't know what kind of lymphoma. There's 95 plus kinds of lymphoma. That is very vague diagnosis from just sitting in that room. So we left, and we had CAT scan and tests, and what seemed like months was weeks of tests and different doctors and talking to different people, and thanks Dr. Len for guidance too. I was able to get into Mass General, and then working through insurance companies, and as you all hear, access to care, even with insurance, making sure everything was pre-approved. We weren't able to go to Mass General immediately, needed to go see a local oncologist, and walked out of the oncologist's office with more questions than not when I did get to go see her, but I did get the approval to go to Mass General and see the lymphoma specialist. So we went to Mass General and had a biopsy, had the needle right in my hip that day in the office, talked to this amazing doctor, Dr. Barnes, and he put my mind at ease and really started to talk to him and really understand what was going to happen and what the regime was going to look like for the next 4 to 5 months. So, and he was great because at this time I was signed up for the Chicago Marathon, ACS determination runner, raising money for the society, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to keep running, and who knew if I had cancer? Can I keep running? What can I do? Can I keep going? So. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you could have gone to Mount Hood skiing if you wanted to," but it was a fast-growing diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, and from his test we found out that it had started off as a Hodgkin's. It was in my bone and in my spine, and so we got the diagnosis. We got the right diagnosis, and that was the first lesson learned, was that we needed to get the right diagnosis. So we had the right diagnosis, and I kept running. And I was going to do the Chicago Marathon, went back to the local oncologist, and we were able to change oncologists, because the other thing I learned was you need to find the right guy. You need to find the right person, woman, guy, whoever it is that you really click with in your doctor, that you can trust, that you fit. And I didn't fit with that first one, so we went to Dr. Mullally in Western Mass, and he was amazing because he's an athlete himself. He's a ski racer, and he could relate to the drive as an athlete. I'm a big water skier. I'm a big water skier. Kept skiing through the whole thing. So we went through all of that, got the right diagnosis, and I kept running. And just like anything, it was really crazy, just sharing it with everybody. And I would tell people, I have cancer, I have lymphoma, and I would tell them about my story, and I still had my hair at that time, and people were like, are you crazy? You're the healthiest person I know. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's crazy. And I was in denial, and I went through all those stages everybody goes through. I was in denial. I still had my hair at that time. And then I lost my hair, and you saw where we had shaved my hair off. And then it all became real. It was real when I didn't have hair, because then I changed my hair color, which blonde. I was brunette last year. But you can see I had no hair. So, and having no hair, you'd walk around and people would be like, they look at you like you're sick, and I didn't feel sick because I was still running. I still felt pretty good. I was right in the beginning of treatment. You'd have good days and you'd have bad days. And I was training for the Chicago Marathon. And I decided I needed a symbol of strength and to stay strong and to keep going, and I had set that goal to do the Chicago Marathon. And my friend Kara and she supported me. I met her at the Boston Determination event as a runner, and she joined me as Batgirl, and I was Wonder Woman. And it's amazing. It was amazing when you put on a costume, and I would wear my pirate cap, and I would wear my cap in public. But it's amazing. And my cape, and she has her cape, but it's amazing what a costume will do. So I felt stronger than ever with this costume on. So Wonder Woman. So here, I'm not sure how many of you have done marathons. I see Kevin Babb up there earlier anyway. And so we ran. And just to relate it to running. In the beginning, the first 15 miles, sharing my story, hey, I have cancer, and I told you all about that. And listening, anybody who would listen, we'd tell the story, and Kara would be like, she has cancer. She's running the Chicago Marathon. I was 2/3 of the way through treatment running the Chicago Marathon. As a determination runner, having raised about $2,200 myself, had reached the point of around $5,500 for the 4 determination events that I had done. So we were running, and you get progressively worse. Obviously, you keep running, you're getting tired. So just like in treatment, you get the accumulative effect of treatment. It just makes you tired, more and more tired. So all the way to the half marathon and beyond, really. And then really kicking it in at the 16-mile mark, basically, is when you start thinking, oh, God, okay, so it's getting worse and worse, and you're getting more tired, and you're thinking, okay, I got to walk the water stops, I got to really take care of myself and really listen to my body. And just like treatment, too, the one thing, since it started off as a Hodgkin's, I had to have this special treatment called methotrexate, which I had to go back to Mass General for, which was even more of a poison than the R-CHOP they put me on. But it made me really sick and really bloated, and a lot of pain in my legs, and you really had to listen to your body. So, and that's what happens in a marathon. You're at the 16-mile mark, you listen to your body, you get tougher, you dig in, you dig deep, you keep going, and you keep pushing through. And so that's where we were. And at the 21-mile mark is really, where a lot of people say, this is where the marathon begins. You're either going to quit, and you're just going to walk the rest of the way, or you're just going to like push, and make it to the finish line, and you're going to make it through your treatment as a cancer patient. So on that point, you really have to choose your attitude and really get positive and really dig deep. And the same thing with treatment, because, oh my gosh, my fingers are tingling, my toes are tingling, my stomach's sick, I'm like bald and pale, losing my eyebrows, losing my eyelashes, and you really just got to feel good somehow. So you just keep going and you keep pushing. And I think with the Chicago Marathon in front of me, I really just kept pushing. I kept running, and I kept feeling good. Every time I go for a run, I would feel good. It would just give me more strength. And the doctor would say that my blood levels each time never really got real low, but when they did they would get right back up to where they needed to be right before my treatment. And he said that was due to the exercise. And with the new studies that you've seen, how it is good for cancer patients, it really showed in me. So, and I loved that I could keep running and that would keep happening for me. So we made it to the finish line, and I cried at the finish line with Batgirl at my side, and we were waving, and the whole city of Chicago was cheering for us because, of course, we were in costume, and we were like raising our arms so they'd cheer louder, and that's the same thing. And I keep thinking the same thing as a cancer patient in treatment. You know, you just need that support, and you need to raise your arms, and you need to just feel everybody around you and feel that they are rooting you on and rooting you to the finish line. So and that all happened, and actually it was amazing because I had this goal of a 4-hour marathon, and we beat it. We did a 3:57. We and me, we did a 3:57. Yeah, which is great. Which is great, which is actually a Boston qualifier for my age group. So, so very exciting. We finished, and you saw me with the determination group, those volunteers, and went to the tent, and I got the survivor medal from the determination tent, and all the cheers walking through the red carpet, and Chicago does it right with determination. When you get there, there's an ice bath for your feet. There's all kinds of food, but most of all, there's people there that are just like you. There's survivors that have running the marathon just like me, and I got to meet a bunch of them, which was just amazing to me. And they will all be friends of mine forever. And just being a cancer survivor at an event and getting that medal was just amazing. So, and that was my first survivor lap at a relay, the UTC relay in Hartford. But really proud to be a cancer survivor. And what's next? So what's next? I'm going to do my 5th determination event at Boston Marathon with our dream team. I call it the dream team. Kara and Charlie and David, and we've got 2 recruits coming with us too, because we don't get numbers at Boston. You have to qualify, you have to get in, and then you can make a difference, make more of a difference at the determination event. So we have this great group of people, and I get my last PET scan is going to be next week to find out if we've killed all the cancer inside of me. So we'll find out that next week, and I'll let you all know. I did do a blog throughout, which was really good for me and really healing for me because I was able to share my story and share what I was going through. And that's the toughest marathon of my life, because I just realized when I got this, and not just the Chicago Marathon, but this whole experience with cancer was going to be really tough. And I don't want to downplay that at all, because I did continue to run, because it was hard. There were some really hard weeks, and it would be a bad week, a okay week, and then a good week. So I would take advantage of those good weeks, and I get my long runs in those good weeks, so I knew I'd be ready for the Chicago Marathon. But just wanted to end with, just remember that no one can hold you back from doing the things you want to do. Keep all your goals in sight. Take one day at a time. Some days will be better than others, but every day will be a blessing. So make each day the best it can be. Thank you.